Okie dokie. Alright, so what I'm going to go through really quick for everybody is some basics on how to essentially set up just some very simple stuff that's going to be necessary for a campaign using Divinity Original Sin 2's Game Master Mode. So let's go through it. The first thing I'm going to do is whenever you've got a game starting up, you're going to want to let your characters, buy loot, get gear, and all that stuff, so you don't have to do it manually. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. We're going to make up like a shop that you can load up first and foremost for your characters. So let's jump into it. We're going to go into Game Master mode. I'm going to prepare a campaign. I'm going to load a campaign that I've been working on for an upcoming game I'll be streaming on my Twitch channel. So let's load it up. This is the exciting part while the game loads slowly. Here we go. So the thing we're starting off with right now, this is our map. This is what the players will see whenever you publish it to them, and it lets them determine where they're going to go in this game world. Right now, we're not super interested in this map. So, well, actually, let's do this. We are going to use the map. We're going to drop this little cursor thing here. Yeah, let's say we're going to drop it at this crossroads. At this crossroads, there is a shop, and we're just going to call it shop for now. To make it a little more creative, let's add another P and an E, so at least it looks kind of medievally. So now we're going to bind a new level to this. This is going to create a map. So we're going to look up interior. There's lots of different options here. There should be one very specifically for like a store. Lair, estate, refuge, shop. Let's go with shop. That makes sense to me. So here's our shop. So let's load this scene up. So here's our shop. Very exciting. Not a whole lot to it. Just kind of an empty room. Here's the shelves, or the counter, I guess, where we're going to have our salesmen be, where they live and all that stuff. Really, this is kind of overkill for what I'm wanting to do here, but that's fine. So let's drop a starting point for the players. This is essentially where they will spawn once you load this level. Really hard to do, one and done. Alright, so we want to create some salesmen for our heroes to interact with. Now there's already stuff around here for them to loot. So I guess you could just create a chest for them that is specific items you want them to start with. But I think it's kind of fun to let them pick what they want to pick. Now, something very important is before they can buy anything, you're going to have to assign them gold. One thing I've seen a lot of people do, which makes sense because you do it in Dungeons and Dragons, is you will use down here this little make roll thing. Have them roll for gold. There's lots of ways you can do it, but essentially what I would do is have them roll a d20. You can base it on their class, even though Divinity is kind of iffy with classes. They're not always the same as other RPGs, pen and paper type games. So maybe just have them roll a d20, multiply it by 10, and that's how much gold they get, although that's not very much, so multiply it by 100, however you want to do it. Depends on how much you want to make these items cost. So I'm going to drop in some shopkeepers. Go down to our creatures and items, and let's just do some civilians. Let's have this dwarf lady. She's going to be one of our salespeople. Lovely. Let's have an elf gentleman. And actually, we're going to create 4 because you'll probably have a 4-person party. Let's drop a lizard citizen. And lastly, we'll drop, I don't have any humans in there. Drop this lady. There. So, there's your salespeople. Now, you don't have to put them all back here. You could have someone chilling over here, literally put them in a seat if you wanted to. If you want to really add a heavy role-playing aspect, throw them in bed, let them go to sleep, and the party has to wake them up to buy stuff, which is really actually stupid, so we're not going to do that. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is make a little room. Let's do her back, move this chair out of the way. Alright, she's going to chill right here, next to her lady friend. The dwarf lady will put her towards the middle since it's harder for her to see over the counter. Alright, now you can set these up for specific type of salespeople, and the game has made it very easy to do that. So we're going to select our elf citizen, and let's say we're going to make him a weapon or a warrior for the dealer. So we're going to call him Warrior's Gear Salesman. You know, you could probably give him an actual name or anything else you wanted, but that's what we're going to start with. Inventory. Really simple. They've got down here. Actually, let me close out my little chat window so you can see that. Or not my chat window, but my screen grab. There we go. Now back to the game, wherever it might be. Alright, so down here, they've made it super, super easy. You can select their stock. We decided he's going to be a warrior trader. Warrior. Let's go up to level 2. That's going to be the, I guess the quality, the effect of the items. You click generate. So there you go. There's some items to start with. Now these are pretty limited. Nothing super fancy about this, but these are also going to be like level 1 players. So they don't have to be anything super great. And one thing I would also recommend is if you're going to have your players talk to these salespeople to buy their gear, maybe set it up in a way to you'll let your players tell you what kind of things they're specifically looking for. If you do that, you might be able to generate them something they want with the item generator that you get by pressing H. You can create them gear, armor, rings, pants, whatever you want, weapons, and shields, so you could generate them something pretty easily that way. Let's say you don't want to make this common gear. You want to let your character start off with something kind of cool. You can give them unique. Generate some more, let's start over. Some more unique items. They're going to be very similar to the common stuff. They might just have 1 or 2 slight difference. Let's say we want to give them uncommon items. Here's going to be some nicer, even fancier stuff. Now you'll notice the pricing should change as well. Yeah, 28 gold for some gloves here. And if you want, you can, add a combination of the stuff. Let's give them some unique stuff too, and then let's give them some uncommon stuff. So there's a variety of things here. This will allow your players to buy 1 or 2 nice items, and then some just kind of general stuff if they wanted to. We're going to leave this guy for now. If you really feel so inclined, you can change the look of them. I really wish there was a better view of the changes you're making, which you can get by just moving the window around till you see them. I don't want to give him this douchey looking hat or any of this stuff. Let's give him a pilgrim hat because salesman, and that just makes sense to me. He's going to be our shirtless salesman. Now we'll give him something. There, we'll let his chest show. Get that sex appeal going. Anyway, you can make these little changes if you want to. It's not super important right now. Alright. Now let's move her a little bit closer to the counter. We've got our warrior guy. For this lady, let's make her a ranger salesman. Ranger's gear. Sales. And maybe saleswoman, salesperson. We're not getting into that right now, but you can do whatever you want. Same thing here. Very easy. Let's just go to the archer trader, generate some common, generate some unique, generate some uncommon. There you go. There's your variety. Now you'll see they're starting with gold. This is so that players are allowed to trade with them, which is not something they're going to do at the beginning because they won't have any gear. So I'm just going to delete that from both of these characters. And actually there's a point I forgot to make, is you want to right click on them and allow trading. Otherwise the players will not be able to click on them. When you're playing Divinity in the standard campaign, you can click on anybody and talk to anybody and trade with anybody, but when you're playing in DM mode, any of the dialogue is going to be something you as the game master will physically say to them. So they're not going to be able to click on them for any other reason. So let's go and enable trading for everyone here. All right, so this lady is going to be, we'll make her the Rogue's Gear Salesman. Once again, same thing. I'm not going to explain it repeatedly. So let's just do what we do. And she can be our Mage's Gear Salesman. Wizard. Now something I did not go over, which is worth looking at here. There's Wizard Trader, then there's Magic Trader. This is very similar items, where you're going to see some spell books and things like that. So you know what, let's do this. I wanted to go with Magic Trader instead of Wizard Trader. I think it's kind of up to you to which you want to do, which you find the most useful. This also lets them start off with some, you know, spells and things like that. But you know what you could do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let's go back. We're going to make this the Wizard Trader once again. Let's delete that gold. And this is much less stuff, but that's okay. You'll notice there are no weapons here. And it might be important to check if there's weapons on these other ones, because I couldn't tell you. Yep. Shanks, lots of the same shank over and over and over again. So if you want to spruce that up a little bit, you could always go in and make some custom items, which you know, your players may have a request for something specific they won't have, and then there you go, you can make something cool. Alright, so these are the gear, folks. Now again, no weapons here, which I want to fix, so we're going to pull up our creatures and items. Over to items, weapons, wands. There's all kinds of wands in here. We want to start off with something pretty basic, so we're going to do a makeshift wand. We'll drop that in there. 2 to 3 fire damage, nothing special. And let's do, actually, let's go and we'll manage this. This is going to let you make changes to the wand. Right off the bat, you want it to be identified, because if it's unidentified, they can't equip it. I wouldn't change much of this here, but you can decide what kind of magic you want this to do. Fire is pretty popular, so you'll see that pop up once, so that's fun. So let's manage this again, and we're going to rename it to Makeshift. And just to make it real easy, Fire Wand. Now let's duplicate that. And this one, we'll just very simply, we'll make it a air wand. And you could do this as many times as you wanted to make different types of wands. I'm not going to do it now because you get the idea. So there you go. The alternative you have is, let's say, we want to be able to have our players buy some potions. You don't want to try to put that on every vendor, so what we'll do is we'll make a new vendor right here. Once again, we're going to go to civilians. We'll do, let's make it a rich lizard guy, because why not? Perhaps he's the proprietor of this establishment. Alright, so let's make him salesman. And we're gonna call him the alchemy. Or maybe tavern. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Let's test them both out. Alright, so alchemy, this is gonna be for making recipes and stuff. I don't care about that. Tavern trader, food, drink, and stuff like that. Probably not a bad idea. And then your equipment trader is going to be all kinds of gear. And this will be an all-encompassing thing. So what you could do, theoretically, is take all 4 of these characters and give them that same sort of inventory. This will let you make it to where they're not specialized and any player can talk to any character and get about the same stuff. Again, lots of options. Now for this guy here, I don't really want him to have all this stuff. What I'm looking for very specifically is going to be potions and things like that. Potions trader, as per usual. Wow, pretty much all the same there, so let's just do common. Click it a couple times. Now there's some potions. Let's say we want to add on some food. And lastly, tavern. So there's some drinks and stuff. So you got a nice variety of items for the party now. Really, this could be one and done. You could set this up and have it completely finished. The players can roam room to room, although there's not going to be anything for them to do. Like I said, if you really want to flesh it out and turn this into a real role-playing experience, you could drop over here. You could, let's try that. This game's a little glitchy when you're adding items to the inventories. You can load up this barrel here, and let's say we're going to call this the equipment trader. And we're going to make this all rare stuff. And we're going to make it level 10. Now there's super awesome gear in this chest, in this barrel. Now you could leave that as is for if your players decide to go investigate. Well, boom, there's all this great stuff they've got. But I would not recommend doing that just because you don't want your players to start off with super nice gear. But you could always put any sort of thing over there. Let's go back to level 1 on this. Here's a bunch of other random gear. If nothing else, you could set this up and lock it, so now your players aren't going to be able to just bust it open. This could be your stockpile for these guys here. You could even move it out here to the middle of the floor for them to get to easier. And when I say them, I mean you as the GM. So that's pretty much it. That's going to be setting up a very basic place for your characters to come in. So let's give it a test drive. Let's try this out real quick. What we're going to do is we're going to generate a character for us to play with. Let's play as a femme fatale, because why not? Here's our player. No inventory. Totally blank. Now, there's a couple things. You can click possess right here. You can right click and choose possess. This will let you play as that character. So I'm going to possess this character. Now I'm walking around as her. Now I don't have any gold, as you can see from my inventory. So let's depossess that character. Once again, just click P or, click the possess button. Let's give her some gold. You know what? There really is no easy way to do that. You can do give reward while you're in game to give your players the reward, but there's no real way to do it for your character. So let's just pick anybody. Call it food trader. There's our gold there. So we'll just start with that. It doesn't matter that she has all these ingredients, but she's got some gold, so let's go that route now. Oop, I guess something else. You want to enable trading with her. Alright, so we're gonna do our business here. You walk into the shop. Oh, hi, hey, what's up, everybody? Who do you want to trade with? Let's trade with this person. Here's all the gear they've got. Here's your gold. I want this toy crossbow. I want these fire arrows. I'll take them all. But that's already way too much money. And I want these boots. I want these leather gloves. I want this leather armor. Oops, that leather armor's too expensive. I want this leather cap. Alright, so we'll call it a deal. Alright. So now you go to your inventory, this stuff is all added. Now you can add it right here, but because I'm playing as a citizen and not as an actual playable character, you're not going to see it show up on them. Crossbow will, weapons usually do. And there you go. So now you have a character that has got their weapons, and you can go into the world and start killing stuff. Now you could also pull this little number here and shoot this character, and I would not recommend that because now you got a fight going. So as the GM, and this is not something I'd recommend, this is just something stupid. So we see here that this person is an ally, and this person here, well, now they're an enemy because you did that to them. And you did not realize this, but they have got a lizard axe and a mangler. That's a two-handed weapon, we'll stick with that, and they're pissed. And just for fun, once again, this is a very powerful weapon. It's going to do a whole lot of damage. So let's unpause it now. Let's possess this character again. And actually, we're going to turn off peace mode. Well, now combat has broken out. The neutral characters are all running scared because they don't want to get into a fight here. Now something cool here, you can choose to possess any of these characters. So I'm on fire, that's not great for me. I'm going to try and dominate the mind of this character. Didn't work. Well, I'm going to shoot at this person, or attack them, what have you. Anyway, I'm not going to let this all play out, but you get the idea. A lot of things you can do when you're building a tavern, and again, if you want to roleplay it really heavily, you can do this sort of ridiculous stuff. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I really do plan on doing some more tutorials of some real simple things like this just to help people get started with their campaign. Larian Studios has put together a fairly comprehensive GM mode tutorial built into the game. That's mostly what I use, plus watching lots of YouTube videos before the game launched. Anyway, hope this is helpful. Hope you dig it, and come check out our stream on Twitch. We stream Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. And right now we're just kind of setting up a campaign, and pretty soon we'll be running a campaign exclusively using Divinity 2's GM mode. Should be a lot of fun.